Imagine growing up knowing, without a doubt, that your parents loved your sibling more than you. Not in subtle ways, not in maybe I'm imagining it ways. I'm talking about birthday cakes chosen for her, punishments given to me, and a lifetime of being treated like the extra character in my own family. But the moment that finally broke me, when my parents demanded that my older sister walk down the aisle at my own wedding in a wedding dress before me, they wanted to turn my wedding into hers. And what they didn't realize was that my fiancé was the kind of man who never forgets an insult and never wastes an opportunity for revenge. If you've ever had someone in your life treat you like you didn't matter, like you were second place no matter what you did, then you're going to love how this story ends. So hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in, because this revenge story is slow, patient, and unbelievably satisfying. I grew up knowing one thing very clearly. My sister was the favorite, and not in small ways. If she accused me of something, my parents believed her instantly. If I accused her of something, they'd roll their eyes, even if there was proof. If I had a birthday, the cake flavor had to be something she liked. When it was her birthday, everything revolved around her. More gifts, more attention, more freedom. Meanwhile, I was just there. The easiest way to describe my childhood is this. My sister existed. I was tolerated. She didn't even like me. At first, she mostly ignored me. But things got worse when we were teenagers. Somewhere along the way, my sister lost all her friends. I never found out exactly why. Maybe they moved, maybe they got tired of her attitude, but suddenly she had no one. And I did. I had friends at school, I laughed, I hung out with people, and my sister hated that. Suddenly, she started accusing my friends of things. They're bad influences. They're rude. They steal. My parents believed her. Before long, I wasn't allowed to hang out with anyone. The excuse. Why can't you be like your sister and enjoy family time? Which was ironic, because my sister barely tolerated family time herself. The only reason I didn't completely lose my sanity was my extended family. My cousins lived nearby, and they liked me. One day, during a family gathering, a cousin invited me somewhere, and Kid Me answered honestly, "I can't. I'm not allowed to have friends since my sister doesn't have any." That comment spread through the adults like wildfire. Apparently, my parents got absolutely torn apart by relatives for that. And when we got home, I was grounded for lying. But something changed after that. Suddenly, I was allowed a little more freedom. But my sister never forgave me. Then came high school and my first boyfriend. My parents forced me to bring him home one day. At some point, we got separated in the house. A few minutes later, he came rushing back to me. "Your sister is trying to flirt with me." Apparently, she walked in wearing something, let's just say, very attention-seeking, batting her eyelashes and telling him how terrible I was and how much better she was. He left immediately and came to find me. But my sister told a different story. She claimed he tried to flirt with her. Guess who my parents believed? They banned me from seeing him. The relationship eventually collapsed under the pressure. And the same thing happened again with another boyfriend. Accusation, blame, punishment. At some point, I stopped dating seriously altogether. The unfairness continued into adulthood. When my sister graduated high school, my parents proudly paid for her college. When my turn came, my mum sat me down and said they couldn't afford to pay for mine. But there was a solution. I could work for years. Wait until my sister finished college and maybe then they'd help. Oh, and if I stayed living at home, I'd have to pay rent. That was the moment something inside me just went quiet. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just said, okay, because I had already figured something out a long time ago. If I wanted freedom, I'd have to earn it myself. So I studied hard, really hard, and eventually I got accepted into a good college with a full scholarship. The day I told my parents, I also posted it on social media, and I thanked them publicly for supporting me, which meant they couldn't suddenly forbid me from going without looking horrible to the entire family. College saved me. For the first time in my life, I was happy. And that's when I met my husband. If I'm the quiet type who freezes during confrontation, my husband is the opposite. He's the kind of guy who hears someone insult someone he loves and immediately starts planning a response. He loves fairness, he loves justice, and he absolutely loves revenge. Eventually, we got engaged. Because we were on a budget, we decided to keep the wedding simple and spend our money on a dream honeymoon in Europe instead. But my parents insisted on meeting him. My husband was actually excited. He even secretly brought a recorder in his pocket, expecting my sister to try flirting with him again. But what happened instead was even worse. When he got there, my parents and sister sat him down, and they offered to pay for our wedding on one condition. My sister would walk down the aisle first in a wedding dress at my wedding, because apparently it wasn't proper for a younger sister to marry first. My husband told me later that his brain completely short-circuited when he heard it, but then an idea formed. Instead of arguing, he agreed. Sort of. He told them he'd convince me, and over the next several months, we played along. We pretended we were grateful. We pretended we were convinced, and slowly, very slowly, we let them pay for everything. But here's the best part. Whenever we went to choose wedding options, we'd pretend to pick the cheapest ones. Then my husband would secretly show those choices to my sister and sigh dramatically. It's a shame we can't afford the nicer option. Every time, without fail, my sister would demand the expensive version, and my parents would proudly say, "Don't worry, we'll pay." The most expensive drinks, the most expensive photographer, the nicest flowers. They upgraded everything, all because they thought they were secretly hijacking my wedding. Meanwhile, my husband made sure there was never any written proof of their plan. Everything was discussed in person, which meant when the big day came, they'd have nothing. Finally, the wedding day arrived. My parents and sister showed up expecting their big moment. My sister even had a wedding dress hidden in her bag. But what they didn't know was that my husband had hired security. And the moment they tried to enter, security stopped them. No entry, no explanation, no argument, just a simple sentence. "You're not on the approved guest list." The look on my sister's face, my husband later said, was priceless. Shock, confusion, then rage. Meanwhile, inside the venue, I walked down the aisle, in peace, surrounded by people who actually loved me. For the first time in my life, something was about me. Looking back now, I don't even feel angry anymore. I just feel free. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't screaming or fighting. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting people reveal who they really are and then closing the door behind them. If this story made you smile, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more incredible revenge stories just like this one. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if your family tried to steal your wedding? Trust me, some of the best stories come from people who were underestimated, and karma always seems to catch up eventually.